Hi everybody. I'm going to do something a little different today. A lot of you have been asking about what I wear when I go running on these cold Alaskan winter days. And today is the perfect day to do that. I'm trying to build up the courage to go running right now. It's about 30 degrees below zero, and I'm not going to go run at 30 degrees below zero, but the heat inversion layer is in effect. So I'm going to drive out to the Wickersham Dome, about an hour north of here, which is a lot higher up. It's about 3,000 feet elevation, so it puts us up in a little warmer air. So while I'm building up the courage to go out there, I'm going to talk about what I wear when I go running. The thing to remember is that what I wear and what you wear is going to be totally different. I dress for extreme cold temperatures, for negative 15 degrees down to about negative 25 degrees. Below that is just accidental. I never intend to go running when it's 30 below out. It's just not safe. My lungs are already trashed. I have a constant cough right now, and my tongue feels like I've stuck it to a light pole. It's not the best condition, and it's not ideal for you health-wise to go running in these temps, but when it's your only option, you take with what you got and you prepare as best you can. My preparation entails layering systems that have taken years for me to perfect, and they're still not perfect, but they work well for me. Let's take a look at what I use. Okay, so let's start with our feet. The Brooks Cascadia 14 Gore-Tex version. I love these shoes. The Gore-Tex keeps my feet nice and dry and warm. The traction is great for the snow conditions that are up here, which are always very dry. We have very little water content in our snow, so spikes just don't do it so well a lot of the times, unless I'm running across overflow ice and things. That's the only time micro spikes will really come into play. Otherwise, just really strong, solid traction shoes. Something to consider though when you're running in temps like I do, around 20 degrees below zero, all that beautiful traction on your shoes becomes hard as a rock. All this rubber freezes, so your outsoles become inflexible and solid. So when you tend to kick your ankle bone with the side of your heel on occasion when you're slipping up or tripping or something, this tread will cut into your ankle bone. So it's really important to remember that, and to try some moleskin on your ankle bone, and that'll take care of everything. But they just are great shoes. I have two types of socks I wear. When it gets down between the warmer temps of 10 above and maybe 0 degrees, I wear these Balega socks. They're nice and thick, they're comfy, and my feet breathe, and they're wonderful. When it gets below minus 10 to 20 degrees below zero, sealskin neoprene socks. Keep my feet dry, they're really thick, they keep me warm, and they basically keep my feet from freezing to death. Gaiters, always wear gaiters. They're gonna keep your ankles warm, keep any snow out of your shoe collar. Also, they protect you when that shoe tread decides to kick up against that ankle bone of yours. Moving on to pants. My first layer are yoga pants. These tights are awesome. These are actually women's yoga tights. I discovered that women's yoga tights have an extra panel in the crotch, and they tend to give you a little bit more space down there in the nether regions, so that you got a little bit more breathability and comfort. Women's yoga tights. Guys, check it out. My middle layer, Patagonia Expedition underwear. I love this stuff. I learned about this stuff when I was a mountain climber back in the 90s, and I won't do anything in colder weather without it. It gets wet, it still keeps you warm, it insulates you between layers. It's fantastic. This is my middle layer, and this is what I use mostly for my warmth. Layer number 3, my outer layer. Brooks makes these really thick tights that I love. They're paneled, they're stretchy, they got extra pockets on the sides for cell phones or dead batteries or what have you, your car keys. They block wind pretty well. I would love to get some windstopper tights. I'm still looking around for those. Until then, these things rock, and that's my system for my legs. So for my torso, my upper body, two different systems. Usually in the warmer temps above zero, between around 10 degrees above and zero, I just wear this merino wool first layer shirt. I love this shirt. It's only good till around the single digits. Below 0, I don't wear it. When you get down to those really cold temps, 15 degrees below on down, this guy here is my go-to first layer. This is a Under Armour long sleeve neoprene shirt. It's not a true neoprene like you think in wetsuit. This is about 2 millimeters thick. It's nylon polyester and elasticine. Elastane. So it's similar to neoprene, but very thin. It's awesome. I've had this thing for about 10 years now. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but I'll never let go of it as long as it still works for me. Great first layer. Second layer, Expedition Weight underwear again. You've got to wear this stuff. This stuff is awesome. It really takes care of your body. It insulates you. It's light. It's great. It's a little bulky, but the options of freezing to death or having a little bulk on you. When it's 25 degrees below, this thing is the keeper. This is where it gets a little funky. So for my third layer, I actually wear the Gore-Tex shell. This is the Arc'teryx Traverse Gore-Tex shell. It is seam sealed, so it really keeps me nice and dry. I usually wear this as my third and outer layer when I'm running down to about single digits below 0, you know, -5, -6 degrees below, and upwards of about 15-20 degrees above 0. It's a great shell. I love it to death. But when it's past the -15s down to 20-25 degrees below, this becomes my third layer, and it's basically I consider it a vapor barrier to keep my body moisture from getting to my final fourth layer. And that final fourth layer is my Patagonia Puffy. I love this jacket. I wear it everywhere, and just this winter I started wearing it as a final fourth outer layer. It's down, so that's why I wear the Gore-Tex layer underneath it, to keep all that moisture from getting to the jacket. Get that down wet and it loses its insulation value and it becomes really heavy. So with that Gore-Tex layer underneath it, I still get a little bit of warmth coming off the puffy. It's not as efficient because that warm air is being trapped outside of the Gore-Tex layer, but it does eventually warm your body up and you stay nice and toasty. I was just running yesterday at 25 below 0 in this system and no complaint, nice and warm. Man, that's a lot of clothing. And there's more as far as your neck goes. So normally I just wear a head wrap. Everybody's got 30 of them in their collection of running clothing. It's great to pull up over your face, keeps you warm. This one I'll wear in the warm temps, just below freezing, between 15 above and 25 above. After that, I really just don't even need it anymore. Recently, I've been wearing this wrap. It's from Run Gum. They created these thin fleece neck wraps. It's a great light gaiter. I wear it when it's marginally cold out, comparatively speaking, right around the -15 degrees. Once you get down below 25, this guy just kind of doesn't cut the mustard anymore. But it's amazing. It's light, it's comfortable, and you can breathe through it really well. When you're in an ice box, when it's 25 degrees below 0, this guy is my go-to neck gaiter. This is an old Columbia fleece neck gaiter. I've had this thing for 15 years. It's fantastic. It keeps me warm. I can pull it up onto my head in a pinch. I'm bald, so anything to keep my skull warm, I'm happy. It's a little bit more difficult to breathe through. Usually I can pull it up over my face and just not cover my nose, and I can breathe through my mouth and nose, and that solves the problem. This thing is unbelievably necessary for me. Hats! Everybody wears hats, especially when it gets cold. We all have our favorite beanie or running cap that we wear when we're running. For me, after about 15 degrees below 0, which tends to be my barrier, this old Mountain Hardwear hat has been my survival hat for about 10 years now. I love this hat. It's Polartec material, fleece, warm, windstop. It's fantastic. It's got extra space up on top to keep all that warm air trapped in above your head so that you don't get cold. Covers the ears. Your ears stay nice and toasty. Awesome hat. Headlamps! So when I go running out here, sunset around here in the wintertime is around 3:15, 3:30 in the afternoon. By 4:15, 4:30, it's dark. Headlamps are necessities up here. A lot of people have been asking me about headlamps lately because of battery usage and everything else. This headlamp, this is the Petzl Attic Core. I love this headlamp mostly because it's got a very bright light. It's only 450 lumen, but the way they set the lenses up on this, it seems like it's 600 lumen. The battery is the Petzl Core battery. It's rechargeable. You just plug it right in and you can charge your battery right up. I have a couple extra batteries as backups. I ran with this, and for about an hour and a half, it was about 8 degrees below zero. Battery died as I got back to the trailhead. For an hour and a half battery at -8, it's not lithium, great battery. Headlamp holds up really well. It's light, functional, and it doesn't cost that much. It's super cheap. I'm really surprised. I've had this guy for years. When it's really cold, this guy is the go-to. This is my Princeton Tech. Don't remember the model number. I'm sure everybody and their brother has seen this headlamp before. It takes 4 AA batteries in a watertight compartment. Bang. I put lithium batteries in here. These lithium batteries can survive anything. They handle the severe cold really well. That's my go-to when it's really cold. Finally, the last thing, gloves. When it's right around zero, I tend to wear these old guys. These are my Swix cross-country ski gloves. I've had these guys for probably 10 years. They're beat up. The fingers are almost worn out. They keep me really warm until it gets around 10 degrees below zero, and then I start having issues with cold getting through the palms. Since they're a little bit thinner on the palms for skiing, so I discovered wearing lighter inner gloves inside them. It solves everything. I fell through overflow ice running down the Grocery Trails in November of 2018. Went up to my elbow in the water. It was about 8 degrees below zero, about 4 miles from the cabin. Had a stage 2 groin pull and had to hobble as fast as I could to get home. Left arm was completely frozen, couldn't feel my hands. There was moisture trapped between the 2 layers of gloves. That water literally was, you could feel it, was warmed up on my body and was trapped there. And it was perfect because it kept my hand from freezing solid. I had 3 layers of clothes on, so the water didn't get all the way into the skin, so only the outer layer was frozen. It was a lifesaver. Double gloves. Highly recommend it. These are my lovelies, my mitts. These are also cross-country ski gloves by Swix. These mitts have an amazing inner lining on them that are so comfortable. It's a fleece lining. These things are good till about 35 below zero. So with them, I also wear my Brooks running gloves inside them. These are the Brooks Dash. They're Brooks' lightest glove. They're perfect. They're nice and light. They slide right inside. They protect my hand when the glove starts getting wet, and keeps me insulated and warm. If you gotta take your gloves off, if you gotta pee, poop, play with your GoPro, take pictures with your cell phone, adjust anything, your clothes, doing it with mittens on or heavy gloves on is impossible. It's just so time consuming and brutal. Gotta take them off. A lot of times when it's 25 below zero, you don't want to have your skin out exposed. It's wet from sweat or what have you. Your hands are going to get really, really cold. Having an extra layer of gloves on underneath, when you take these guys off, you still got protection over covering your hands. Then you can do whatever you're going to do. Hands stay warm, slip them back in the mittens, good to go. So that's what I wear for my clothing. Like I said, it's trial and error. It's always a project that you're working on trying to perfect. It's going to take forever till you find out what works best for you. Right now, this works best for me. Next year, I might be changing. Who knows? I've been running in this system for a couple of seasons now, and it works. And there's no reason for me to try to keep buying new stuff every day, trying to keep up with the trends when I already have a system that works best for me. That's my recommendation to you. Go to the running shops in your area. Depending on what temperatures you run in, they will have suggestions and recommendations for you that will work best for you. And that is the best advice I could ever give you, is talk to the experts, talk to the people that know, that experience those conditions all the time, and find out what they use. If they start giving you non-answers, ask somebody else. This is your health and safety. If you can't find the right answers and the right recommendations for you, find somebody else until you do, because you don't want to risk yourself because of poor advice. And that's why I'm saying take my advice with a grain of salt. This works for me. Now, I run in temps all the way down to 30 below zero by accident most of the time. 25 below is my cutoff maximum, and that's only because I may have gotten out of the car and it's only 20 below. And then all of a sudden down on the trail, it's going to be a lot colder because you're narrower or in valleys or whatever. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the weather conditions. And for God's sakes, please prepare ahead of time and dress accordingly. I hope you enjoyed what I showed you. It helped out. If you have any questions, message me. I'm going to try to get ready for my run and get my butt out the door. If you enjoyed the video, you're liking my content, I say it every video, hit the like button. Let me know. Talk to me. I love talking to you guys. Subscribe. Have a good one, you guys. Take it easy.